Hello, my dear sisters. I feel like I want to apologize for this weird camera angle, but I'm just kind of trying to find the best light in my room right now, so this is what we're doing. I have a gorgeous story that I want to share with you today, and I thank you, my dear sister Belle, for allowing me to publish this on my website. It's a story that we all need to read. And this dear sister who is sharing this story is what I would call one of my core group of women. And you know who you are. Even though I've been doing this quite a few years and thousands of women have, found my work, I would still say there's just about maybe 150 to 300 women who are in the core group, and I probably know you all by name. And she's one of them. And she's been trying to do this thing for 8 years. She's got a great backstory to all of this, too. And when it's time, we will share more of it because she's working on some amazing projects. For 8 years, she has been on this trying to conceive journey. And look how it unfolds. This is the email that she sent me and gave me permission to share. And I want to comment on a couple of things, especially because I know this so well. How when she was getting ready for the first cycle of IVF and how everything was lined up perfectly and there was magic and synchronicities and it just felt like, yeah, this is how it's going to go. And you can just feel it. You can just feel it. It's working and you know that this is going to be it. And then it's not it. I've been there. I talk about that in my book, What All Spirit Babies Want Their Mamas to Know. The second time I got pregnant, after my first miscarriage, everything had been lined up. It was perfect. There were signs. And the devastation was even worse than before. I want to address this because so many of us go through this, and it doesn't mean that we've done it wrong. It's actually part of the divine orchestration, as she noticed in her own email. And as I noticed later on, you notice it later on in hindsight of, oh, this is how this has worked out perfectly. It couldn't have gone that way. It doesn't mean that the signs and the magic were wrong. It means, oh, and this is so beautiful and scrumptious. It means that the divine is cradling us and enveloping us, even as we're about to go through a really terrible heartbreak. Okay, that magic, that synchronicity, that is the divine saying, yes, this is the last step of grief. This is the last challenge you have to go through, and I am here holding you every step of the way. And I know that Belle would agree with those exact sentiments, that she has been cradled and comforted the whole way. And even though I have been talking about, how the divine plan now unfolds and how the time of suffering and challenges has been over, it is so important for us to realize that even in the struggles, especially in the struggles, we are cradled and comforted by the divine if we can only open our eyes to it. So, all this to say, and I want to briefly also say about the Divine Mother activation. It doesn't surprise me at all that, that was part of the synchronicity and part of the cradling of it. So I have not yet heard from anyone, and this might seem like reverse marketing, but it's not. I haven't heard from anyone who's gotten pregnant while doing the Divine Mother activation. If you have, then email me and let me know. In fact, many times I have done readings and I can see, like I can see a couple of different paths, especially, and I'm thinking in my head, women who are going to do IVF. And I say this is the perfect time to do the Divine Mother activation. And it's not because the Divine Mother activation is going to help get that IVF to work. It is because I can see that this person needs to get on the other side of the IVF to allow things to unfold in a new way. So this might seem a little tricky and a little scary, but as we look back, we can always see that it was divinely orchestrated. So the Divine Mother activation can cradle us, and it is part of the rewiring process as we go through this last hump of grief, of releasing, of whatever it is. So the divine, this is like the Divine Mother sweeping in and saying, okay, there are some last challenges you're going to go through, and I am going to be with you, here with you, every step of the way. And when you get on the other side of this, you will be reprogrammed, you will be cleansed, you will be pure. So that is why the Divine Mother activation for me is such an amazing tool, because it helps you get over those last few ending of the patterns of the karmic clearing and the karmic severing. The Divine Mother does it with you, so it's beautiful. Anyway, this is not about me. This is about Belle's gorgeous story. And one golden egg, that is how she entitled the email, and that is how I am titling this this post, because this is her story and it's gorgeous. I love the dream in particular, and it just goes to show how strong it is and even how easy it is. And Belle, I've said to other women who've gotten pregnant after many years, sometimes it's almost anticlimactic. Like, oh my God, wow, that was easy. You know, all this stuff. And then, oh my God, it just happens. It's almost anticlimactic. Like, you can't even believe it, that it was actually that easy, that you're actually holding your dream in your hand. And that is because we are becoming whole. We are whole. We don't need the baby to make us whole anymore. We are whole already. And the baby is the cherry on the top. Last thing I want to say is this core group of women, of 100 to 300 of you, some of you already mothers, some of you not. You are the high priestesses. I've said this before, and I'm being told to say it again. There's so much I can talk about, but at another time. This is a time of deep rewiring. Okay, so this is the time the high priestesses are stepping up into their power, and Belle is one of them, and there's so many others of you too. Finding your voice, finding your power, your inner divinity that drives you. We have had such strong personal will to get to where we are right now. And now it is time to use that personal will, that strong personal will, to align and surrender to divine will. And then it all unfolds in an effortless way. So you high priestesses, this is a time for rewiring, and whatever that needs to. Keep a lookout for my next sermon on katestreet.love that will be coming up soon. It will be about tangible techniques to help rewire the brain to the God programming, the divine rewiring that is going on right now, so we can step into this new true role. And we're being called up right now. It started last year in earnest, and it's just going to keep picking up speed. These babies started coming in last year, like this new wave of a baby boom, and it's going to keep continuing. So whatever you can do to rewire your own brain, ask for the inner guidance. What can I do to help facilitate this rewiring? Because we can't just sit there and expect it to be done for us. It's a co-creation with the divine. We have to make the space for it. So this is the time for it now. So really check out my katestreet.blog for Hot Mess Ministry. The next one's going to be all about that. But this is happening naturally anyway. You're being rewired, and there are miracles in this rewiring. It's messy. It can still be messy. But it's okay, because the mess is being cleaned up in a divinely orchestrated way. Bottom line is, we are supported, we are loved, we are highly celebrated, we are coming into our power, and we are being cradled and led the whole way. When you hear of all Belle's story, you're just going to see, oh my God, she's been taken care of the whole time. And so have we all. I love you.